One of the types of cases that we deal with is the totting up disqualification, where drivers have reached 12 or more points for offences committed within 3 years of one another. There, on the face of it, the court has to disqualify for 6 months, and we search for material which will give the court the basis for not disqualifying or disqualifying for a shorter period. The only basis on which the court can do that is on the grounds of exceptional hardship. Now, what does that mean? Hardship isn't defined in the legislation. Exceptional hardship is plainly not ordinary hardship. Hardship can be to other people as well as to the driver, and it frequently is. And the sorts of hardship are certainly loss of employment or loss of ability to run a business or run a business effectively. We always have to remember that the court has to relate the hardship one is talking about to what the situation would be if the driver was disqualified and couldn't drive. So how much driving does he do? How essential is it? Does he live in an isolated place? Is it practical to think of him getting to places of work, clients, customers, without a car, using public transport? So taxi, bus, train. And we often suggest to clients that they do a trial run and think the unthinkable. Think, you haven't got a license, how would I get to work? And to do trial runs, do the times, so that they can give that evidence to the court and say, it's going to take me 2.5 hours to get to work, 2.5 hours at the end of the day. That's not realistic. We prepare documentation, prepare the clients as to the evidence they need to give to the court to stand a chance of persuading the court that exceptional hardship would flow. And the hardship can be financial, it can be social. Medical factors are very relevant. If the driver themselves has some kind of medical disability, so they can't walk far or they can't easily get on and off public transport, those are relevant matters. Of course, in this time of COVID, the prospect of being closeted for a long time in a taxi with somebody who you're not bubbled with, or in public transport, is something which the government is positively discouraging, and that's an additional argument which we have just at this time. In these cases, the courts are often not unsympathetic, certainly if it's a first disqualification, but they have to make the decision on evidence, so the driver has to give some evidence. The lawyer can do a lot of the talking, but ultimately he has to call the driver to confirm evidence, and we prepare packages of documentation, accounts, maps sometimes, certainly diaries as to what the driver has been doing, so that the court gets a flavour and has the evidential basis from which they can properly conclude that yes, if there was a ban, exceptional hardship would flow, and in that way a disqualification can be avoided or substantially reduced.